Look at that loveliness. It's getting a bit condensated. Condensated? You know what I mean. It's very red. It looks black on the screen. It is not black. Well, there we go. There's a bit of light behind it. Look at that. Look at that colour. Now, this is a Dayton's 4D Imperial Red Ale Rye. Now, for those that don't know Dayton's, they've been around for a long time now. I think since about 2013 the brewery opened. And I knew Dan, we weren't best of mates or anything, but I knew Dan from Grain and Grape. Like most of the people that started a lot of the breweries around Melbourne, at least the early ones and some of the newer ones, all had a tie-in with Grain and Grape or worked there or something. You know, there's Dayton's, of course, Three Ravens. There's a heap. The Rockstar Brewer up north, which I'll have a chat with him soon. Yeah. You learned, when you used to go to Grain and Grape, you met a lot of people that ended up starting breweries. Now, I remember back, it must have been 2013, I think, I bought a bottle of Red Ale Rye. Now, it wasn't the Imperial one, it was just a bottle, I think it was a 500ml bottle. And I enjoyed it so much that if you go back and look at my videos, I started brewing red rye beers. And that red rye beer evolved into my amber ale when I ran out of rye. And so I started calling it amber ale, like a red amber ale type thing, American red amber. And I've done videos about that before. I wouldn't say it was a clone or anything. I didn't even know what I was, you know, I was just making it up as I went along. It was nice though. But that red rye bottle, I don't know if it was the first bottle I bought or the second bottle, I liked the label. I liked the beer so much. I used to wash my bottling, you know, my bottles in the laundry tub and get the labels off them and, you know, clean them and things when I was bottling. And I had the red rye bottle and I went, oh, I don't want to take the label off it. Look at that label, and that beer was so good. I need to remember it. And it sat, the lone beer sat, empty beer bottle of course, sat on the windowsill in the laundry, I reckon for at least 2 or 3 years. And the wife kept saying, why is that beer bottle there? I said, oh, it needs to be. It needs to be. I did have a love for that beer, and I think that was the first one. I mean, he did have a history, worked around James Squire from memory, Holgate maybe for a little while. I won a few awards here and there. Yeah, and then went and started his own brewery with his dad. And most people know Dayton now. They are pumping out the beers. I've been to the brewery a few times out there at Carrum Downs, Frankston, Dandenong Road, I think it is. Great place if you can drop in. Good place to go and have a beer. And let's just have a look at this beer. Stop yakking. So obviously this is the Imperial version of their Red Ale Rye. It says, howdy all, thank you for picking up this beer and helping us celebrate our 4th year at Carrum Downs site. Technically we started in 2013. There was a good old gypsy brewer. It's been a wild ride to get to this point. Cheers to many more birthdays and beers to come. We believe in freedom of choice, so that doesn't really say much about the beer. It is 10% though, so it is a big beer. 85 IBUs, 10%. Oh. It has that classic red ale rye aroma. It's sort of, when I get the aroma of rye, it's sort of dry. I get a real dryness from a rye, if that makes sense. There's some hop there too. It's too hard to pick hops these days. There's that many different ones. It used to be easy. I don't know, I always used Centennial in something like this, but that was a long time ago. It still smells like a classic hop though. I wouldn't bear to guess. It could be anything. Oh, and there's that dryness. I mean, the 10% alcohol is going to help to that as well. It's got that lovely rye taste. Oh, that's really good. That is really good. There's a reason the Red Ale Rye is a really good. If you haven't had one, it doesn't matter if you're not into any of their other beers, track down Red Ale Rye. It is a good beer. And I tell you what, this is sensational. Oh, I might just let that sit there and warm up. Have a quick chat. I've had a few, I've had many of their beers over the years. I couldn't even remember. They're a bit prolific at bringing out the beers lately. But some I've had recently is, let me get the focus on, the Rogue, a triple IPA. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that. Triple hazy IPA. That's tasty. There's a couple of empty ones of these laying around. I bought these to review and I'd drink it and then I went and got another one because you know I like to drink more than one before I review. And I kept drinking them. I kept going back and buying one and drinking. They're not cheap. Nothing is when they're triple IPA. That is 10% as well. That's sensational. The Jungle Juice. I've heard a lot of good things about this, but to be honest, I had this only last week and I didn't really like it. I had many beers before it. Not many, but I had a few other like Neepers and things before. I don't know if that sort of changed it, but I didn't like the hops in it. Saying that, it was very fresh. It had only come out that day or the day before when I was lucky enough just to be there when it was delivered to the shop. So it probably could have done with settling down probably. But there was something about the hop I didn't like, but I've heard many people rave about it. So that's another one to try. But I've got to be honest with myself, you know. And the Super Trooper Imperial NIPA, I really liked that. That was a good one. If you can find that one, that's another 10%. Yeah, it was a good beer. But they have many, I think one of the latest ones is the Blood Orange one maybe. I'm not sure if it's a NEPA or a NIPA or a normal IPA. But people are talking about that too. I haven't had that yet. That's really good. That's really good. It's a bit boozy, but it's 10%. It's not bad boozy. Should let it really warm up. So that's why I like these big wide glasses. I should have done the old thing and put a little bit in a glass so it could warm up fast. Well, it's pretty hot in here under the lights. And I brewed in here today, so it's a bit steamy. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Nice tight head. Beautiful colour. Best thing is it just tastes good. The hops are coming more out as it warms up. Oh, and the malt, it's just... I love red beers. Most people know I love red beers. I was brewing that many ambers and different reds that all started from the red eye to the point where my friends, Peter, started just saying, "What are you doing?" Another red. I'd say, he'd ask what I'm brewing and he'd go, another amber ale, another red. Yep. Yes. And one of those versions is on video. As the ye old amber ale, because I found the old footage in my old 3V system. But anyway, that's about it. Stop talking about me. It's about the beer. The hops. The hops are really popping now. Let these beers warm up a little. I know I say it all the time, but those hops are popping now. Get this beer if you can. Or even just the normal red eye. If you don't want to drink a 10% beer, which is, I can understand that. The normal red eye, I think they do a double. I've thought they've done a double. You can look on the net, or I might be able to put it up on the screen if they have. But anyway, that's enough from me. Cheers to Dan and the rest of the crew out at Dayton's. hopefully, sometime this millennia, we'll be able to get out and visit these breweries again. Support independent breweries, your local breweries. This one is local to me. Well, it's on the other side of the bay. It's not local anymore because we're not allowed to travel that far. But it is, and I've been there a few times. And once you get over that side, there's heaps you can go to. Mornington Peninsula, Two Brothers. I've got to do a couple of reviews for Bad Shepherd. It just goes on and on and on. Wolf Willows. They're all, well, it's a big area, but they're all on the east side. I'm on the west side. I'll get in trouble for throwing fake examples. That's enough. All right, thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to my patrons. Like, subscribe, share, all that rubbish, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. I must say cheers to the Park Hotel in Werribee. Because we couldn't go anywhere for Father's Day, my wife said, what can we do? And she said, the Park Hotel I have doing Father's Day packs where you get like a bit of brisket and pulled pork and chicken wings and ribs and stuff, and you got to sort of heat it up yourself. It's cooked, but you got to heat it up yourself, and you get 10 beers or something. It was 10 beers. It was only $100. And I went, that'll do. Saves me cooking, and because all she had to do was put it into like a water bath and heat it up, or the oven. And then I saw this come out, and I saw that the park had gotten the case. Well, we couldn't even travel that far to pick it up, and it's only 6 kilometres up the road. But it was the next town, Werribee, but we weren't allowed to go there to pick it up. And I said, just a sly comment on their Facebook page going, it'd be really awesome if one of these 4Ds made it to my Father's Day pack. And guess what? It did. And I must thank them for that, because I'm not sure a 10% beer should have made, that would have been a tenth of or probably more than a tenth of the cost of that pack. So thank you very much to the Park Hotel. If you're in Werribee, get in there and have a beer. They're struggling. Hopefully it'll be open again soon. Anyway, sidetracked. Take it easy. Thank you very much. Cheers.